Your Time. I'm your host, Dawn J. Paul, and today's special guest is inspirational artist, motivational speaker, and newly ordained pastor, Von Juan. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Don?
Good, I'm good. You know what? You are multi-talented.
Amen.
And let me tell you, I'm going to add singer to your resume because I love the song, God is the Answer.
Thank you so
because
much.
He is there. So you're doing a little singing. You weren't just rapping, you were singing. So you can add singing to your resume.
Amen. That's cool. I started when I was actually in choir growing up, in church, and just trying to follow my sister's footsteps. And then when you get out there in the world and Screwed Up Click and those guys started blowing up, so everybody wanted to rap. So then I kind of strayed off to the rapping, and now I try to come back a little bit and do some more singing again.
Well, that's good. Now, I was reading an article about you, and somebody in the music industry said that you have the ability to bring the masses. And interacting with you, and when I see you perform, you do have the unique gift of drawing people towards you. There's a presence about you.
Wow.
And do you realize that you have that gift?
I really don't look at it like that. I think hard work pays off, and it goes back to just being in the choir, being in a show choir, doing performances, but also getting mentored. I was mentored a little bit by Melvin Adams, who's a great motivational speaker, Harlem Globetrotter, and they're all about showmanship.
Yeah.
So he kind of showed me how to engage audiences instead of just being a rapper. He said he feels like rappers do great when they're rapping, and then once the song stops, they're trash.
Yeah.
So he tried to help me to fill in those gaps in between the songs. It's been helpful, man. But I give all glory to God and thankful that He's using me to bring people in.
Okay. Now, you got an athletic scholarship to Rice University. You graduated from Rice with a degree in history. Why history?
I wanted to make history. So I said I need to figure out what everybody else did. But no, really, all jokes aside, I came in, my roommate was a junior, and he said that he was a history major and it'd be great if you're going to do law school. He was going to law school. And I thought about law school, and I said, well, that's cool. So I did history. I was pre-law, and I've already taken my LSAT, was accepted to TSU, Thurgood Marshall, but I just have never made it on campus. So, the call of God keeps calling me back. But so history's good. I learned a lot about, I'm from the Caribbean, and growing up in Houston, I didn't know too much about how we got there and the slave trades and things like that. So taking my first history class and opened my eyes up, and it was just downhill from there.
Okay, because I was a history major.
Yeah.
And I know so many people with history degrees. We're not using them.
No,
we're not.
We're making history.
That's right.
That's what you tell them.
Okay.
I plan on making history.
That's good. I like that. I'm gonna use that. Now, you had an athletic career, but you had a knee injury.
Yes.
And also during that time, your dad was sick and he was dying, and you made some bad choices, which are public battle, like we all make bad choices when we're going through difficult circumstances. But what I like about your music, and I'll tell you, is that you're not just spitting lyrics and it's not just a good beat. We get a piece of you in every song. It's like we get a little bit of your testimony. And is that why you think your music has been so well received, and you have been so well received because of your openness and honesty in your music?
Yes, I think everybody likes a little dirt, and likes to know what somebody went through. I'm sorry, a lot of times people will come to church and they won't tell you the story behind the glory, and I feel like it's good, the Bible talks about, they've overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And the main thing is when I get off stage and you can see an old lady come to you and say that she's been touched, or even a young kid come up to you, or a guy who just got out of jail and say, I appreciate, I was on drugs, and I can relate to what you were going through. So that's been the main thing is seeing people change. When I know people, when I can make people cry and touch that deep of an emotion, it lets me know that God is doing something outside of me, because I couldn't do it on my own. And anytime you can be used by God, it's just more beneficial, more rewarding, and I just love being a vessel for Him.
Now, let's talk about judgment for a minute. You said that you don't want to be seen as a title. You want to be known as a man of God.
Yes.
And there are so many people, whether they're your fans or whoever's watching, and they're saying, you know what, I'm trying to get on the right track. I'm on the right path, but people are still judging me. They're still calling me a title. I'm known by my background. And you went through that as well.
Yes, definitely.
So how do you encourage somebody in that situation?
Just keep your eyes on God. Man will always let you down, but God will never leave you. He'll never forsake you. And just want to encourage anybody out there to know it's not going to happen overnight. For myself, it took 5 years for me walking with God. And around the 5th year, phone started ringing, old friends started calling. You know, when you started telling me about the Jesus thing, I didn't believe you, but now I see. And I'm thinking, man, 5 years, you know, so that's just a little encouragement. If you just started, don't be discouraged if people don't feel you, man. Stay on that road, prove to them, show them that you're standing firm, and your actions will always speak louder than you try to tell them.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about secular rap music and gospel rap music. You were on the secular side of rap music, and now you're on the gospel side of rap music, but you still collaborate with secular artists.
Yes.
Why is it so important to your mission to collaborate with secular artists?
I think for one, I like to just still reach out to that side of the music industry. For two, I didn't know I could do gospel music until I tried it. And then now when I can get guys like Lil Kiki, Lil O, I can get them guys to do a Christian hip hop song, now that seed has been planted. And I'll be honest with you, since I started doing songs with those guys, I've seen Lil Kiki at church shows, Lil O at church shows, and I'm not taking credit for it. All I'm saying is when you put a seed in the ground, it has to come up, you know, and I'm thankful that I can show people as well that you don't have to be judgmental. You know, God doesn't look at them much different than he looks at us. You know, he all looks at us as works in progress. We're just in different stages.
Right, right. Now, I went to your Hip Hop for Hunger event. This was a couple months ago. And I have to be honest, I was inspired by all of the gospel rap artists, by their stories, by their families, by the fans. But what I was most surprised about, and I'm going to be honest with you, was the broad fan base. It wasn't, even though the majority of the performers were Latino and Black, it was a broad fan base. Old, young, white, you know, from all, you know, all across the board. So when you see that you have such a broad fan base, does that confirm for you that you are doing your calling in this industry?
Yes, definitely. I feel like always growing up, I was always cool with the essays that we call them, or the white, you know, white people, Chinese. My next door neighbors were Asian. So I think God did that intentionally to prepare me to be able to relate. And now when I make music, and everyone knows that hip hop transcends culture, age, genre. No matter what country you land in, you can find a bunch of people dressed in hip hop gear.
That's right.
So I just, you know, I feel like everything about my past, when I found out I was in my purpose, was when I look back, I said, me doing drugs, my father dying from AIDS, me going to Rice, everything about my past was valuable to me as a motivational speaker, as a pastor, as a minister, and that's when I knew I found my purpose. And that's why I tell everybody else, look at your past and look where you've come from. Where is that valuable? And if you can find that, I think that's where your purpose lies.
Yeah. Now, you being an artist, of course you want your music to do well, you want it to sell well, but this is not about money for you.
Right.
And I think you're probably unique in that, being in the industry and saying it's not about money. But being an inspirational artist, what is your goal for your music?
My goal for my music, I think it's not money. I think it's success, though.
Yeah.
And any artist that says that they don't want to be successful, they're lying. You know, they're front.
And anybody,
Anybody, period. You know, but for me, I want to be successful. You know, I love to see my music listened to by millions of people, so get out on the stage and there'll be thousands and thousands of people out there. But I feel like if I do that, the money will be there anyway. So my passion is not the money. It's just more so completing my mission. God brought me here for a reason. He took my family from the small island of St. Croix and brought us to the huge city of Houston, Texas, and brought me on the southeast side of Houston for a reason. Yeah. I don't think it's on accident. So I've just been trying to make the most of my calling. And 8 years from now, when I cross the line of 40, I want to look back and say, you know, I want God to look and say, good job, well done.
Yeah. Now, I want you to talk to me a little bit about some initiatives. I'm going to name two of them. The Houston Initiative and Mission Possible.
Yes.
And I want you to tell me a little bit about these initiatives and how you see these initiatives making an impact, let's say 10, 15 years from now.
Right.
Not only in Houston, but beyond Houston.
Okay. I mean, I'll start in chronological order of how it came to me. With Mission Possible, I have so many people, loved ones, friends, that call me and they're like, I need help with a light bill. Yeah. I need help with this and that. And I'm like, man, there's so many people that have the resources and have the money that would love to help people like that. And I said, and then there's people that need it. So I said, let's bring these two types of people on the same plane. And hopefully over the years, you know, Mission Possible can gain the respect and notoriety of a Kickstarter.com or one of these other Indiegogo or whatnot. But it being not just for any purpose, but for God's purpose, for nonprofit, for the will of God, whether somebody wants to write a faith-based book or anything. So that's the Mission Possible thing. And I feel like a lot of times the only part of the equation that's missing on these for a lot of my friends is the financial part.
Yeah.
So if we can find the people that are finances, I think a lot of dreams are happening, a lot of things are changing in the world. The Houston Initiative movement, I realized what happened. I was always someone who would bring rappers together.
Okay.
And as I got ordained, as I moved into a pastoral role, the same heart is still here. You know, now I'm seeing the what could be success could happen if pastors would get together, utilize each other's resources, team up, and see what we can do to take the city. So that's what Houston Initiative Movement, HIM, it's all about him. We serve him, and that's what my main thing is, to get everyone in Houston on one plane, from the pastors to the rappers to the poets to ministries, orphanage, prison ministry, all these things, and unite them. You know, fourth largest city in the United States of America.
Yeah.
And if we can successfully pull that off in Houston, I don't see why it won't happen in Dallas, Austin, New York. And it's a big feat, you know, and you know, God will give anything they said that you can't do on your own that seems too big, that's from God. And I believe that, man. So going into 2013, we really want to push hard to unite the city, and I think it'll be good for everyone, man.
Okay. I think it will too. Yeah, I think it will too. Now, before we go, I want you to give us your website where we can find you on Facebook, Twitter, so we can keep up with everything.
Hey, man, it's, you can go to vonwon.com. Twitter is follow me at Von1, VONWON. Facebook /Von1. It's all Von1. There's not too many Von1s out there.
Yeah.
Von1, only one Von. Amen. So yeah, check me out online. TheLegacyChurch.tv. We're launching our new church, Legacy Church. We love your support. Love you to come out and visit. And just hit us up, man. If you need prayer, support, anything, man. We're here to be used to serve the city.
Yeah. Well, look. Before we go, I have to say, you know, I interview, you know, different people, but it is refreshing when I interview people with great stories and how they take their past and they turn it into something positive to help other people. And there's no selfish motives behind it. So I want to thank you for talking to us, and we will continue to support you in whatever you're doing.
Awesome.
And we'll continue to pray for you and your wife and your family. I know your wife is your rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So y'all need to check out the Shockumentary.
Okay.
And you can see how many times that woman should have ran out on me. But so God is good, man. Definitely shout out to Kyla and my 4 children, Phoenix, Kingston, Ariana, and Zaire.
Okay, I love it. Be fruitful and multiply.
Amen.
Yeah, and you're doing that too. But I want to thank you for watching, and I want to thank Von1, the Legacy Church, and the people here at the Fuel Cafe for opening their doors to us. And as always, make the most of your time and have a great day. Bye-bye.